If you feel like you're taking all the proper precautions to elevate and be successful in life, and for some reason you keep getting stuck, or you're not elevating, or you keep having all these bumps in the road, sometimes that's part of trial and tribulation, and sometimes that's just a product of the energy, the mindset, and the places that you're in and around. A lot of people will think that they're locked in and doing all the things that they need to do to get to the next level, but in reality, they have things attached to them that are draining their energy, draining their mindset. You can't be a millionaire when you're surrounded in a $10 mindset environment. And I speak a lot on environment in a lot of my videos because I come from a $10 environment, a $10 mindset. And I need y'all to understand that just because that's where you're from and that's sometimes the people that you love get stuck in that. That's if you're around people that are stuck in that low vibrational or that low motivational mindset or that low inspirational mindset to where people aren't even inspired of the things that are around them that are positive, you have to separate to elevate. And that's probably what I'm gonna title this video. You have to separate to elevate, because a lot of y'all don't realize the people that are around you and the things and habits that are around you are the exact things that are keeping you stuck. And my life didn't change until I realized that sometimes you have to really just be honest and real with yourself, and the truth hurts. A lot of times we're too soft on ourselves. You know, people always sit here and say, oh, don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes we're too soft on ourselves. Sometimes we don't realize that a lot of the things around us and a lot of people around us and places that we're in, even sometimes people and things and places and habits that you love, things that you feel like you can't live without, or people that you feel like you can't live without, sometimes you would be better off living without them. And that's the reality of it. People don't realize that a lot of things around them keep them stuck. People have to understand energy is transferable, and if you don't believe that, then that's the first reason why you feel stuck. Everything has energy, gives off energy, takes away energy, and you have to really, as you try to elevate in life, you have to really do a deep analysis of what's around you and what's beneficial and what's worth your energy and what's not. I feel like that sounds so cliche and it sounds so basic, like duh, right? But really take a look. Sometimes it's the things that you're not even looking into, the things that you think that are good for you. Sometimes it's your childhood best friends, people you think that you're gonna elevate with in your whole life. Y'all talking about, oh, we gonna become successful together. Sometimes those people aren't meant to come up with you. That's the reality of it. It depends on who's in your circle and what they're on and what their timeline is at that time of life. Sometimes if you're in that season of elevation and everyone else around you is in the season of comfortability or the season of going through a valley, and you know they're not matching your energy level, sometimes you have to separate to elevate, and it hurts. Sometimes it's the people you love the most. A lot of y'all are in relationships with people that you have to separate from to elevate, and you don't even realize that. It's people that you've been in relationships with for years, people you'll be in relationships with when you're down broke and you become successful, and you know now you're trying to get to the next milestone of becoming successful, and you're still with this same person. You feel like, oh, you owe them all of this because they stayed with you, but their energy isn't on the level of elevation how yours is. So now you're pouring so much energy into this person and you're just trying to elevate. And I mean, if they're morally supporting you and stuff like that, but sometimes it's not even the case. Sometimes you guys are spending years and days of your life and in deep relationships, whether they're romantic or platonic, you know, with people around you that are draining your energy, people who don't have your best interests at heart. Sometimes people you grow up with will grow to have envy, and it's not everyone, but you do have to really take that time and step out your body and look at it from a third person point of view, because sometimes your emotions, your feelings towards that person, your love towards that person will keep you to believe that they're not draining your energy or they're not manifesting negativity on your life, and you don't even know. Sometimes it's your parents. I see that all the time. People's own parents will hate on them and stuff like that. So you guys have to really understand when it comes to a season of elevation, and if you're claiming this is something you really want for your life, everything has to align with it. And sometimes it hurts to let those things go. Sometimes it's hard to let those things go, but it's not impossible. And if you are not letting them go and you know that they're hindering you, you're keeping yourself in that position for longer. You're continuing to stay around the same negative things. And even if you do your own research and you watch videos like this in your free time and you get motivated and you try to apply it to life and stuff like that, as soon as you go get around people who aren't doing that, who are kind of looking down at you when you're reading books and looking down at you when you're locking in. And I've been around that. Some people are energy draining. Like, some people are energy demons. You won't even know. It'll be people you'll be around for years, for months, and you won't even see it until you try to separate to elevate. It's like, you my best friend when we kicking it, we in the club and we spending money and we getting sections, but when I say, hey, I'm gonna take a step away and I'm chilling and I'm just locked in, you don't even want to mess with me no more, and I'm Hollywood and I'm weird and all that type of stuff. Y'all have to do that. Like, if you're in that environment to where you're tired of being in the clubs, you're tired of wasting money, you're tired of not doing anything progressive in life besides basically maintaining and letting life come to you, you're going to really start to realize, like, damn, eventually you're going to have a day where you're like, damn, I'm really tired of this. I don't want to be around this no more. I don't want to do it anymore. And you're going to realize that once you do it, a lot of the people that have been around you for years are going to start to fall off from you. They're going to start to back away from you. They're going to even feel offended that you don't want to live that lifestyle anymore. And it's so crazy that people that you feel like would have your best interests, or people that you feel like you love, or people that you feel like have been with you through it all, will really show their true colors when it's time for you to elevate. And that's something you have to be prepared for if you want to be someone who's successful. You know, it's not even always monetary, but successful in life. Success comes in many different forms, and it's the same recipe to get to it at the end of the day. Whether you want the money, whether you want the clout, whether you want the freedom, whether you want to just hit a goal, it really doesn't matter what your motive is. At the end of the day, if your goal is to be successful, all successful people take the same type of paths. You know, they make the same type of sacrifices and decisions, and that's what usually gets them there. You know, there's a few that just slide under the rug and get lucky and hop on the success train. You got to understand that that's not the reality. That's a slim to none chance. So if you really want to take it to the next level, you got to apply this to life. And some of y'all be in my comments like, oh, I already know this. You're yapping. You're saying the same things as everybody else. Okay, then why are you watching this video? Because if this video is on your page, that probably means you engage with other videos like this. And you do, because you said it in the comments saying, oh, this is just like every other video I watch like this. So clearly you're still seeking motivation, and you keep hearing people say the same things. If you're not even agreeing with these things, or you feel like they're so repetitive, are you even applying them to life? It's one thing to watch the video and get the dopamine and be like, oh yeah, I feel good, but what about actually applying them to life? What about, it's one thing to hear and understand that I'm saying, oh, you got to really cut people off, but what happens when it's time to cut that person off? What happens if you got to cut your mama off? What happens if you got to cut your girlfriend off? What happens if you got to cut your best friend off? What happens when you really have to do that? Are you actually applying that to life? Are you actually leaving from this video and applying it to life and seeing how it affects your life and seeing the positive changes from doing that? And like I said, not everybody has to go. That's what you have to understand. Some people are beneficial. That's why I said you have to do an audit of everyone around you and everything around you and see if it's positive. Some things that are negative for other people, some people that are negative for other people are positive for you. You have to figure out what aligns with your goals and with your vision, but you also have to be realistic. You also have to be truthful and honest about what people are doing and what their habits are and where they're going in life, because a lot of those things will reflect. You can't be around a whole bunch of people that's not doing nothing and think you're going to be the odd one out that's going to do something. You're going to do something, and you're going to not be able to reach your maximum potential because you're around small-minded people. You're not around big thinkers. When my friends tell me, oh yeah, I just did this business plan and I'm about to do this, and I'm motivating it and pouring into it and saying, oh yeah, this is good, and giving them good motivation and good energy and good ideas that they can even use and apply to their business. Some of my friends, I've given them just advice over the phone that they've applied to their business, and they added 10K plus a month revenue just off of the advice that I gave them off of my good idea. That's how beneficial it is to audit your circle and make sure people around you are having positive energy, and make sure people around you are feeding good things into your mind. Some of y'all are in relationships, and you talk to people who can't even withhold their own relationship. They've been single for years. They're on and off. They're not married. They got baby daddy issues, baby mama issues, and these are people you're going to for your relationship problems, and taking their advice and thinking that that's going to lead you in the right direction. It's the same thing with success. Some of you guys are going to your parents or your best friend or your girlfriend or whoever, and you're, asking for their approval on how to start this business or how to get into this investment or how to do this thing that only you truly deep down believe is achievable for yourself, and you're talking to a person who couldn't even imagine something like that for themselves. So not saying all of those people would be negative just because they're not in that position, but you have to also understand, look at what people's habits are, look at how they treat life and how they treat goals and how they treat manifestation, and how, more importantly, they treat God, and how their spiritual alignment is, and how the things that they apply to life and how they live life, and make sure that that's aligning with the vision that you want to go. It's the same thing if you're a Christian. Sometimes when you're a Christian and you're trying to live the most Christian way of life, some of your childhood friends aren't elevating with you. They might joke about God a lot or use his name in vain too often, or when they see you doing certain religious practices, whether you're fasting, whether you're praying, whether you're choosing not to partake in the partying and the drugs and all of that type of stuff, then they kind of look at you like, oh, you went soft. Oh, you went lame. No, I went Christian. No, I went the right way of life. That's what I went. Like, people don't understand that sometimes those type of people you have to cut off. They'll make you feel bad about walking in faith, or they'll make you feel bad about starting a business, or they'll make you feel bad about wanting to get healthier, or whatever it is that your goal is in life. They'll make you feel bad about it because they feel bad about trying to do that themselves. And you have to understand those type of people are very, very dangerous. It doesn't matter what type of energy or connection you guys have together. It doesn't matter how long you've known them. It doesn't matter how invested you are into that particular relationship. If it's bad for you, it needs to go. And that's why I said in the beginning of this video, if you're one of those people that you're feeling like, oh, I'm still stuck in the same place, and oh, I'm not getting anywhere, and all those type of things, you need to really do an audit. Put a pros and cons list for every single person in your circle, and every single person that you're giving time to, and giving your ideas to, and giving your energy to, and giving your goals to, and really start to protect your peace and protect your future. Because you have to understand, no man can stop what God has planned. But you have to also understand, the enemy is not more powerful than God. But the enemy is more powerful than you. The enemy is powerful. So you have to understand that sometimes when you're giving these thoughts to these people, even if they're people that you love, and you're not understanding that their mind is being controlled by the enemy because of different vices and different things that they have in life, and you think you're coming to this person and giving them your good idea, sometimes it's like I said, even the person you're intimate with every day, the person you lay down with every night, you'll tell them all your big goals and aspirations, and they'll be thinking negatively on it because they don't believe that for themselves, and they're letting the enemy get into their head and create all these different emotions like pride, like jealousy, and things like that, envy, and you would never even know. So start to do an audit and start to separate yourself. If it's meant to be for you, it will be meant to be for you. God will show you that. But stop trying to force things to be meant for you, whether it's the place that you live, whether it's the people you're around, whether it's the people that you're with, whether it's the things that you're doing and partaking in every single day. The sooner you let go of the things that are holding you back from elevating, you'll elevate. Understand that. Y'all stay blessed.